Late Night Health continues, Hour 2. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. And he really isn't insane. He's just a little crazy. Just thought you'd like to know that. Without Daryl, there would be no Late Night Health. And we appreciate everything that Daryl does for us. We're going to go to upstate New York again, and I think further upstate than when we were talking with Robert Clancy just a little bit ago. We're going to talk with Swami. He's also known as the Orange Cowboy, and we're going to be talking about the benefits of meditation as it affects not only our body, but our mind. Swami, welcome back to Late Night Health.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much. Joy to you.
Thank you very much. I want you to know that over the weekend, I was wearing my new brightly colored orange socks.
All right. We're going to make an Orange Cowboy out of you yet.
You got it. You got it. And I have two pairs. I did not wear them for the whole weekend.
Okay.
That was more for Daryl's benefit than yours. All right. We hear about meditation. And years ago, I actually worked with the TM organization at their TV facility. I was producing and hosting a variety of video projects out of a facility that they did own at the time in Los Angeles, and met a number of people who were regular meditators. So let's start with, can anybody meditate? And is there a religious connotation to meditation, or is it just spiritual?
Well, Mark, those are two really great questions and two popular questions. Those are two of the biggest asked questions I ever get in the last 40-some-odd years. So the first question is, there is a big myth around it. I can't meditate because I can't block thoughts out of my mind. I can't go for an hour, things like that. And those are myths. And certainly there are going to be people who teach that way, but it doesn't mean it's the only way.
Right.
The truth is, let's define meditation, okay? This is my definition, Mark. Anything that brings you more love in your heart, more peace in your mind, that's meditation. So that could be writing a story, drawing a painting, taking a walk, playing with your pets, going out to a romantic dinner with your spouse, anything. So in terms of the actual meditation, I'm happy to say that these days it's gotten even easier because there's so many more people meditating now that it's just easier. It's the tipping point. When enough people do something, it becomes easier for everybody to do it. And I teach something now called beginner's meditation with advanced results.
Well, you were telling me last week that you can meditate in a minute or less, I think you said.
That's what I'm teaching, and that's what my class students are finding. Just by connecting with their hearts and thinking of the issue they want to resolve and then thinking about something they love, it just flips it. You know, it's like saying, it's dark in the room, turn on the switch, and now it's light. And that's really what's happening. And I teach it within the first minute.
You teach it within the first minute?
That's all it takes for an experience. It's not theory, Mark. People just go, holy cow, I feel better.
So this isn't like rocket science.
It's not rocket science. Rocket science is for rockets.
Got it. I'm going to ask you to give us a sample of that in just a moment. Your background, you started meditating at a relatively young age, in your 20s, if I'm not mistaken, or earlier?
Yes, I think I started with the Transcendental Meditation. Well, I started reading books like Be Here Now by Ram Dass and Carlos Castaneda. So I tried I try to invent my own meditation based on what they were saying. And then I actually tried the Transcendental Meditation. Well, tried it, I followed it, I taught it for many years. And then over the years, I introduced myself to other things, including shamanism and energy medicine. And when you do something long enough, you start to develop things for yourself. So the shamanism gave me instant energy healing. So I was able to heal people in 20 seconds. And I said, there must be a way to meditate in 20 seconds and feel better too. And so I developed that more recently.
How long have you been meditating, if I may ask?
Well, if we're only going to limit the definition to sitting and closing our eyes, I'd say I started formally back in 1972 after I lost my parents in a car accident, and I was in college, and I was in college for Mark Radio, like you, and TV and film, which I really loved back then. But after my parents died, I just lost all interest in anything and everything except what happened. I used to get messages in my dreams as a child that this was going to happen. So I really became curious to know who was telling me these things, because they probably saved my life. And so I delved into the research of what is meditation and mysticism. And so that's how I got into meditation in a formal sort of a way.
Talking with Robert a few moments ago, we were talking about renewal, and that if you get smacked upside your head for some reason or other, whether it's having your internet go down or being diagnosed with a disease, there's always a bright window at the other side. Do you think that your parents' death obviously changed your life, but possibly changed it for the better?
Well,
to give you something, a different road to go down that you were meant to go down?
You're really right on target. And Robert, he's a wonderful guy too, very gifted. He's had a similar experience of taking a tragedy and finding something positive in it. As I said, in my childhood, I had all these sort of visions and intuitions and psychic messages, and I sort of ignored them because they were not pleasant messages. But once my parents died, then it was like, okay, that freed me up from being the generic son who hangs out with his parents because they weren't around. So I was free to say, what is all this mystical stuff? And how did I know these? And who was talking to me? And clearly, it brought me the upside of the tragedy. And there always, I find, is a greater upside to any downside. Speaking from personal experience, that it did bring me into what is very natural for me, a spiritual realm, an intuitive realm. I live from my heart and not, I use my rational brain, but I don't use it exclusively. I add my feelings, my intuition, my heart, my compassion.
You're also a businessman. You have products to sell. You teach people. You do a variety of things. Did you have a happy childhood prior to your parents' death?
I think in some ways you would say it was a fairly normal childhood. In some ways I did feel very like I was an alien on this planet. But a lot of, you hear that a lot from people. I think there was that underlying feeling of hopelessness because I kept getting those various forms of the dreams that I'd be separated from my parents. But then I would forget about them every once in a while. But I think subconsciously there was that, what can I do? I can't do anything. That's it. Life is fated. So it's hard to say. There's multiple levels to that answer, I suppose.
When somebody meditates, the studies that I've read about and I've talked to others about it, you can lower blood pressure, you can relax, develop deep relaxation. You sleep better. We know now that sleep is extraordinarily important to get enough sleep and to get enough quality sleep so that you can really be productive in life. Does meditation help with being productive?
Oh, clearly. In fact, what I'll find in the middle of the day, I'm working on something and my brain's getting kind of fuzzy. I'm even sort of fading a little bit. And I'll just sit down and close my eyes for 5 or 10 minutes or get up and walk outside for 5 or 10 minutes, or just do a 20-second meditation in some cases, and I'm back to better than before. So, yeah, however, the quicker we get back, the better it is for whatever we're working on.
Some people meditate for hours and days on end. You've spent, I think, over 10 years in India total?
Yeah, probably close to 15 years. I would meditate. Well, in the old days, I would meditate 3 to 6 hours a day. That's when I was trying to figure everything out about mysticism and my parents and all that. And nowadays, it's quite the opposite. I do these instant meditations. It's almost like I filled up my gas tank on meditation, and now I just sort of top it off with that little gas enhancer or something.
Well, we're going to put a little bit of STP into our gas tank here at Late Night Health. By the way, if you were interested, you can go to, correct me if I'm wrong, thehipguru.com. thehipguru.com or the Orange Cowboy, or orangecowboy.com. Orangecowboy.com. He dresses in orange, and on our first interview, I asked him if he wore orange underwear. Maybe we'll have him answer that question again when we come back from our break. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Don't go away. More coming up, and join us at facebook.com/Late Night Health Radio.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. The greatest bridge you can cross in life is one that connects your heart with another's. Giving of yourself is the ultimate gift of receiving. Love bridges the distance between any two hearts, even if that expanse is between here and heaven. This connection is unbreakable when it's built upon true unconditional love. So why not love unconditionally? You're not giving up anything except your fears. Love is worth more than any one heart can ever hold. That's why it's meant to be shared. Isn't it time to use your heart to show the world how big infinity is?
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.